You may have tried everything to communicate with them, but their tricks and emotional games leave you feeling exhausted. When you stop interacting with them and cut off the mental support they want, something amazing begins to happen. Narcissists, who usually control their relationships, feel confused when you stop talking to them. What really happens when you stop getting involved in their drama? If you've been having a hard time with a narcissist and are thinking about using silence as a way to deal with it, this video is for you. Stay with us as we study the psychology of narcissism and see how silence affects both them and you. Before we start, please subscribe, like the video, and share it with anyone who might find this information helpful. Let's share ways to handle narcissistic relationships and keep our mental health safe. Please share your thoughts below about your experiences with narcissists and the importance of silence. Let's begin. When you stop talking to a narcissist, it affects them deeply and quickly. Narcissists seek attention, approval, and want to control the people around them. Their personality is shaped by how others respond to them and their feelings. When you don't respond, you take away the mental support they rely on. This silence makes them lose control and feel unsettled. It's a shock they aren't ready for, and it often confuses them or makes them worry. They are used to getting emotional reactions from people. When they don't get that response, they have to face a difficult reality. Their usual methods are not effective. At first, the narcissist will probably try to draw you back into the talk by making things more intense. They might say you are cold or uncaring to make you feel guilty and push you to react. Sometimes, they might act like they're the victim to gain your pity or make you feel guilty about how they feel. These are common tricks used to make someone react and to take charge of the situation. The main point to realize is that they don't truly care about how you act. What's really going on is that they are checking your limits, trying to see how much they can pressure you before you speak up. The silence makes them confront the tough truth. Their normal way of emotionally manipulating others isn't working anymore. They have to face the reality that their usual methods of managing you are not working as they expected. This isn't about you. It's about their loss of power, and that's what makes them angry. Silence can be very powerful because it can stop people from using misleading strategies. Narcissists are skilled at playing mind games. They cause mental confusion and keep you feeling unsettled to stay in control. When you don't play along with their tricks, you take away the control they have over your feelings. By not responding, you take away the approval they really want. Narcissists constantly seek admiration and recognition. They depend on your feelings to boost their high self-esteem. Without these responses, they have no strength or ability. Silence removes their mental defenses, making them feel open and unprotected. It makes them face the reality that their control methods aren't working anymore, and they can't control how the relationship goes. They are struggling with their own insecurities and fears instead of being able to show off a fake sense of power around you. As you stay silent and avoid talking, the narcissist will probably try harder to take control again. This could manifest in various forms, such as efforts at gaslighting or hoovering. Gaslighting is when someone tries to mess with your understanding of what is real, making you doubt your own mind. Hoovering is when they try to pull you back into a harmful situation by promising to change or using tricks to get your focus again. These methods might seem concerning or appealing, but it's crucial to remain strong. Every time you stand firm and stay quiet, you make them less in control of you. The longer you stay quiet, the more the narcissist has to realize that their normal tricks no longer affect you. They are struggling and can't seem to get back the mental control they used to have. This quiet time can give you a lot of strength. It's not only about not falling for their tricks, it's also about taking back your strength and independence. A narcissist might show their real self when they feel desperate. This includes their need to manipulate others, their sense of entitlement, and the emotional turmoil they cause to stay in control. By standing firm and not letting them draw you back into their world, you help the truth come out. When they are quiet, the narcissist starts to show their real self. They reveal how much they relied on your feelings to keep up their fake story. It's about discovering the truth of what's happening, which helps you regain a feeling of control and self-esteem. When you stop talking to a narcissist, you usually see them start to lose their mental balance over time. Narcissists need focus and control. When you stop giving them both, they start to feel anxious and confused. They might begin to doubt themselves and their actions, thinking about why you're not replying, or why they can't control things like they used to. This is when they start to feel very emotionally desperate. When their efforts to get a response from you don't work, the narcissist begins to feel rejected, abandoned, and vulnerable. These feelings are very uncomfortable for them, because they conflict with the perfect picture they try hard to show to others. Silence breaks this false sense of safety, making them feel vulnerable and helpless, as if the defenses they created to protect their ego are falling apart. They are faced with a reality they want to ignore. Their fake sense of power and control no longer affects you. Even though they try to get a reaction from you, your ability to stay calm and set clear limits is really changing the way you both interact. In this situation, silence doesn't only impact the ego, it also gives you a chance to think carefully about your own actions, feelings, and the relationship's well-being. When you stop giving in to their demands, complaints, and tricks, you might start to feel clearer and more at peace, something you haven't felt in a long time. You stop reacting to drama all the time, which helps you regain your mental strength, confidence, and inner calm. When their emotional chaos isn't present, you can better connect with your own feelings, wants, and desires. This quiet time isn't just about getting away from the narcissist's control. It's also a chance for you to heal, think about what matters to you, and decide what you want from relationships in the future. It lets you take a moment to think about whether you are getting the respect and care you earn in every part of your life. This quiet time helps you find out who you are without the narcissist influencing you. When you stop letting them manipulate your emotions, you begin to rediscover who you are on your own. You can start doing things that make you happy and satisfied, especially things that the narcissist kept you from doing. Here, you can find your passions again, connect with supportive people who accept your limits, and strengthen your emotional strength. Not having to listen to a narcissist or meet their demands gives you the chance to rediscover who you really are in a way you couldn't before. Over time, their influence lessens, allowing you to regain control over your emotions in your life. When you stop talking to a narcissist over time, you begin to take back control of your life, feelings, and decisions. Narcissists enjoy causing emotional confusion and use your emotions to gain control over you. When you choose to step away and not get involved, they have to face the fact that they can't control you anymore. This is an important change, not only for them, but also for you. It means taking back control of your emotions and deciding that you won't let their negativity affect how you feel or live your life. Walking away or staying quiet can be hard at first because it's different from what you're used to. However, it can help you break free from their control. The quiet may not seem like a win right away, especially when the narcissist tries harder to drag you back into their drama. As time goes by, the real effects of your silence start to show. The narcissist's actions show that they are controlling, only care about themselves, and cause harm in the end. This is the first important step to gaining freedom from them. As they desperately try to regain control, their silence will reveal their true nature. This will help you move on and build better, happier relationships. Thank you for joining me as we look at how silence affects people with narcissistic traits. If you found this movie helpful, please subscribe, like, and share it with anyone who might also find it useful. I'd like to hear about your experiences with narcissists and how staying quiet has helped you. So please share in the comments below. You can take charge of your own story and stop the narcissist from having power over your life. Stay strong and confident. I can't wait to see you in the next show. Ever think about how narcissists will do anything to keep their power, control, or false sense of being better than other people? Why should they just break their victim? What if they want to physically, mentally, or spiritually erase them from the world? Today we're going to talk about something scary and important. Why narcissists push their victims so far that they often end up depressed or even suicidal. Join us as we look into the scary reasons behind this terrible behavior. You might be shocked by the answers, but they could change your whole life. Before we go any further, don't forget to save, like, and share this movie. We can make more people smart and strong with your help, and bring these important issues to light. The biggest issue with narcissists is that they always want to be in charge and fit in. The image they present to the world shapes their whole sense of who they are. One that everyone must either admire, fear, or want. They feel safe behind this front, which keeps people from seeing how weak and broken they really are. Narcissistic injury is a terrible emotional breakdown that narcissists go through when someone threatens their carefully made image, even if it's just by leaving their peer group. They don't just feel bad about themselves because of this pain. They feel like someone is attacking them at their core. They act out in planned, sneaky, and very mean ways to protect their low sense of self-worth. Narcissists will do awful things to get rid of people they see as a threat. This is one of the scariest signs that they need to be in charge. They could easily drive a victim to complete hopelessness, even to the point of committing suicide. This is useful for more than one reason in their twisted view of the world. For starters, it takes away the instant threat of being caught. The narcissist's lies stay safe because the victim is kept quiet. Second, it makes the lies they tell themselves and other people stronger. When something bad happens, they often act like they're the ones who are sad and confused. This is how they get people to feel sorry for them and keep their power over the people around them. It's not really about the victim's pain or loss. They just want to keep up the image of being perfect and in charge no matter what. When something goes in such a bad direction, it almost never starts with open hatred. Narcissists go about things in a slow, sneaky way that makes them hard to spot at first. Their trick is to break down their victim's sense of self-worth, freedom, and hope over time. All of the things they do are meant to make the victim less stable, more open to being harmed, and ultimately unable to fight back against their control. People don't just do these things. They're part of a well-thought-out plan to stay in power and get rid of any threats. Nasty people like to use a sneaky method known as gaslighting. They make the person they're after doubt their own memories, beliefs, and even their health by telling them lies. People who are abused in this way may start by doing small things that don't seem like a big deal, like denying something happened or using sly language that doesn't make sense. It gets worse over time, though. The target starts to doubt their own mind and believes the narcissist created a different world for them to live in. The victim feels like they need the narcissist to tell them what's real and what's not because they ask them so often. It's another thing that narcissists do that makes other people feel bad. By criticizing, putting down, and invalidating their target all the time, they slowly destroy their self-esteem. They say things like honest opinions or constructive feedback to hide the fact that their real goal is to make the victim feel less sure of themselves and less of a person worth respecting. In time, the target internalizes the abuse, believing the narcissist's mean words, and thinking they are to blame for the bad way the relationship is going. Self-blame is a strong tool for narcissists because it keeps the victim trying to get their approval, while also making them feel like they don't deserve happiness or help. They want to keep everyone else away as much as possible. It was important that they kept their target away from family, friends, and other people who could help them. Isolation can be done in overt or covert ways. For example, the target might not be able to talk to certain people, or their friends might fight or not trust each other. The more the person is cut off from other people, the more they need the narcissist. They feel even more trapped because they don't know anyone else they can ask for help or support. People who hurt someone feel even more alone and lost when they use triangulation and smear tactics. The narcissist keeps things tense and suspicious by putting other people against the target or telling lies about them. Friends, neighbors, And even family members of the target may turn against them if they believe the narcissist's lies. These lonely feelings make the person in the bad relationship feel even less useful and hopeful, which makes it even harder for them to leave. Not giving love and care is another bad thing narcissists do. When someone does what they want, they treat love and praise like things that can be given or taken away. When a narcissist is inconsistent, it makes the target feel unsafe and useless, and they spend all their time trying to get the narcissist to like them again. Because of the ups and downs of their feelings, the target feels off balance and on edge all the time. All of these plans work together to have a very strong effect. People who are mistreated by narcissists feel lost and alone, and they depend on the abuser for all of their safety and worth. The person who is being manipulated by a narcissist may already feel lost and worn out, making them think there is no way out. A narcissist wants someone who is hurt enough that they can't fight back, or show what kind of person they really are. It's not just a way for narcissists to get what they want. It's also a way for them to show how strong they are. They believe they are better than everyone else and have power over the life of the person they are hurting. Both the narcissist and the victim really want to feel strong, but this dream costs a lot. The victim is in terrible pain, but the narcissist can't get out of their world of manipulation and can't connect with real people or be happy. They are desperately trying to fill a hole that can never be fully filled, and their actions show how empty they are. Take care of yourself or get better. For narcissists, this is an attack on their power and sense of control. Narcissists feel like they have failed very badly if they see proof that a victim can get their freedom back or fix the problems they caused. For them, the thought of failing is very scary because it risks the false sense of being better and stronger that they have worked hard to build. They can't stand the thought that someone might not want to be ruled by them or that their plans might not work out. For them, if the victim gets better, it means that their power and control are not being respected. This makes them very angry and often doesn't make sense. When someone rejects them, it hurts them deeply and makes them feel guilty, angry, and like they need to blame the target for what they see as theft. When someone is misled by a narcissist, they not only hurt the person, but they also try to get rid of them from their life. Getting rid of things shows that they are still in charge and makes it look like they can't be hurt. Narcissists see things differently than most people. They think that anyone who tries to reject them or question their power will be punished by suffering and losing their mind and emotions. They need to take away the victim's freedom, health, and power, and make them feel like they don't matter. Because narcissists don't care about other people, they can't stand it when their victims get better. Most of the time, narcissists can't really understand how other people feel, which lets them ignore the harm they cause. The person who hurts them doesn't seem like a person with thoughts, feelings, and rights to them, because they don't understand or care about the pain they cause. The victim is only seen as an extension of the narcissist, someone who lives to meet their own needs. Narcissists don't see other people as valuable people in and of themselves. They see them as things or ways to get what they want. When a target is no longer helpful or starts to question the narcissist's behavior, they will give them less value or get rid of them. When a narcissist is done with someone, they don't care about their well-being because they are no longer useful to them. The victim is useless to the narcissist and should be thrown away. It's not necessary to pay attention to or even acknowledge their mental needs. Another strong emotion that drives narcissists to do bad things is their strong and often unjustified envy of their target. The narcissist can't stand it when other people have traits they don't have, like being kind, strong, honest, or able to connect with others in a real way. These are traits that the victim might have a lot of. Narcissists secretly want these traits, but can't bring themselves to develop them because it would make them weak and make them think about themselves, which is something they will do anything to avoid. Because the narcissist doesn't want to face their own flaws and work to improve them, they put those feelings onto the target. Putting all of their own fears and doubts on the target will help them and others believe that the target is flawed, weak, or not worthy. Instead of seeing the target as someone with value on their own, the narcissist starts to believe that they deserve to be hurt or retaliated against. There's more to this projection than just being mean. It's also a way for the narcissist to avoid facing the hard truth about themselves. By putting their own fears on the target, the narcissist can avoid dealing with their own issues and flaws. In the narcissist's mind, this way of protecting themselves lets them keep living in a world where they think they are perfect and better than everyone else. They don't have to deal with the crushing shame and self-doubt that could destroy their weak sense of who they are. Narcissists can blame others all the time instead of taking a look at their own flaws. In this way, they can protect the thin bubble of self-importance they've made around themselves. They think that the victim's flaws give them permission to be mean to them and treat them badly. But their own flaws will never be talked about or seen. It is important to figure out why the narcissist acts the way they do. But it is also important to notice when they are acting badly. If you or someone you know is dating a narcissist, follow these steps to stay safe. Set limits. Make it clear what behavior you will not tolerate. It's important to be steady when crossing lines, because narcissists love it. Call the people who can help you again. Talk to family, friends, or support groups that you can trust. For narcissists, being alone is one of their most strong tools. For you, making new connections can give you the strength and perspective you need. Get help from a professional. Therapy can help you get back in touch with your true self and learn how to deal with a selfish partner. Write down what they did. Keeping track of dangerous behavior can help you if you need to see a lawyer or get professional help. Do things that are good for your mental and physical health as part of your self-care. When you're strong, your ego has a harder time putting you down. Think about ending all contact with the narcissist. If the relationship is hurting you so much that it can't be fixed, this may be your only option. Thanks for coming along as we talk about one of the worst things about being selfish. This is a very important subject, but understanding these dynamics is the first thing that we need to do to heal and keep ourselves and others safe. Please like, follow, and share this talk if you thought it was helpful. We should help each other get out of bad situations and get our power back. Remember that you're not alone, and that tomorrow can be better. What do you think? Please write your thoughts in the area given. We're excited to. Now imagine that you've just broken up with a narcissist. You want peace, closure, and a chance to get better. You are hit with something surprising instead, something scary. Once, the narcissist said they loved you, but now they want you to disappear or even die, which is very upsetting. That comment is shocking and so far-fetched that it's hard to understand. Why would someone who used to be so lovely and interesting think this way about you? The real reason for such a strong reaction has a lot to do with the dark and twisted mind of narcissism. We're going to look at the scary truth about why a narcissist might want you to die in this movie. Why would someone who used to need you to boost their ego now want you to leave their life right away? Truth be told, many people have been through this. It may sound too shocking to be true. Stay tuned until the end of this video to find out the scary and often secret reasons behind this harmful desire. Believe me, you won't want to miss the truth about what narcissists think when they lose something or are turned down. Before we get into this scary subject, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with people you know who may be having trouble with selfish relationships. Don't miss the information that can help you find your way through the tricky and dangerous world of narcissistic abuse. Now let's begin. The ego of a narcissist is like a fragile shell that needs to be constantly strengthened and cared for so it doesn't break. It's a carefully put together front that comes from the narcissist's endless need for approval, power over others, and admiration. Behind this smooth appearance, though, is a deep-seated void that the narcissist can't fill even by themselves. At their core, they deal with the feeling of not being worthy and a strong belief that they are not worthy at all. The narcissist can't stand how empty they feel inside, so they depend on outside sources, like the people around them, to keep feeding their fragile sense of importance and power. They keep looking for acceptance from other people because they need it all the time. But no matter how much they get, it's never enough to quiet the deep insecurity they feel. The narcissist tries very hard to hide this feeling of not being good enough, which makes them very afraid of being left alone and losing things. They become a living, breathing thing with fear when you decide to leave, reject, or cut off the link. Narcissists fear losing power over you more than anything else. If they can't control you, they don't see any value in you. They've spent a lot of time and energy building up their personality, which is based on controlling and manipulating other people. They feel like they've lost a part of themselves when they lose that power. This loss is terrible, and it sets off a chain of emotions that they can't seem to handle in a healthy way. For them, losing you is more than just a split or a rejection. It's the end of the world. In the narcissist's skewed view, the thought of you having a life without their control is not only upsetting, it's downright scary. They feel so weak when they think about how well your life is going without them. Their idea of reality is that they should always be the center of attention and the leader of everyone else's world. They see your independence, power, and refusal to be controlled as direct threats to this reality. This deep fear and worry is not about love or caring about your well-being. It has to do with power and control. Narcissists see love as a business deal and a way to gain power. When they can't handle that power, they start to see you as a threat because you're taking away the control they need to feel whole. The narcissist doesn't want you to be strong or free. They want you to depend on them and do what they say. These people will do everything they can to get control back if you refuse, or, even worse, if you leave. Most of the time, a narcissist gets very angry when they are rejected, betrayed, or lose control. For them, the thought of being laughed at or ignored hurts so much. Nothing they've worked so hard to make is safe from this attack. It makes them feel bad about themselves and hurts their carefully built sense of being better. For them, being turned down is not just a bad feeling. It's an insult that can't be forgiven. They think that you owe them everything because they have given you their time and attention, and you should never leave them or question their power. They feel like their bloated sense of self-worth is being directly attacked when you stand up for yourself or decide to leave. This makes them very angry or upset. In their twisted world, it's hard to forgive anyone who they think has betrayed them. In this case, it turns into something that needs to be revenged or punished. Their ego can't stand the thought of being made to feel weak or small. For a narcissist, the only way to get things back in balance is to take back control, and if necessary, get even. If they can't get back in charge by tricking or forcing someone, they may step up their game and try even harsher methods to retake control. Not only do they want you back, but they also want to show everyone that they are still in charge and have power. One of the scariest things about working with a narcissist is that they often have a twisted need for revenge. It can show up in many ways, from trying to trick you into going back to more extreme, angry actions. But the narcissist always wants to tell you and everyone else that they are still in charge, no matter what strategy they use. When a narcissist is rejected, they react in a darker, more frightening way. Narcissism is based on intense, deeply hidden self-loathing that the narcissist does everything they can to hide from everyone else. They may act cocky, smug, and self-important, but deep down they hate themselves so much. This painful reminder of their own flaws and failure to live up to the idealized version of themselves they have made is self-loathing. The narcissist often puts their feelings of not being good enough on other people and blames them for their own flaws. When you turn them down, they can't hide the fact that they hate themselves. In their twisted mind, they might see your strength, your freedom, and your ability to move on from them as traits they dislike about themselves. Your ability to let go and be happy without them makes them feel even worse about themselves and makes them hate themselves even more. This terrible self-hatred is what makes them want you to be gone. They may feel temporarily better if you are not around to tell them of how badly they are doing, but this is only a short-term and unhealthy escape from their inner turmoil. The narcissist doesn't want you to be gone for any healthy or logical reason. It's a direct response to the intense emotional pain they feel from being rejected. If you're gone, they think they won't have to face the truth about how inadequate they are.